Yeah, you go for it, Rob. So thank you very much. Over to you for a...
Okay. Yeah. So basically what we've done is we're on a bit of a journey as business success partners. For those, I think everybody in the call in some way is touched by our business and what we do. And we're guided by a business framework that outlines all the dimensions of your business. And down at the bottom, you've got product and service, sales and marketing, people and productivity, systems and processes, finance and reporting. In the sales and marketing piece, about 2 years ago, we started a journey that took us to we've got a really, really good foundation embedded in our business now in the marketing area. In terms of marketing for small to medium-sized businesses, we've got lots of stories now where we've actually taken our clients and our own business to a very different level. That thing says sales and marketing. The sales part is I'm here as a partner in the firm to confess that our sales is nowhere near where our marketing is. So I started a crusade in our business about 3 months ago. I actually had a look, Bernard, our first comms were on the 15th of June. So it's not even 3 months ago that we started, and I stumbled into Bernard and we've started, and it's not just a Bernard crusade, but it's taking us and everybody that's touched by us to another level. So there's as you sort of enter the space, I stumbled into somebody earlier this week and he sort of said to me, he says, the sales is not that difficult. He says, there's really 3 questions, and they're questions for you guys today as a way to start. And the first question is, are you happy with your current sales volume in your business? Are you happy? Do you believe there's anything more that could be done there? And then he said, okay, you'll get your response to that question. He says, the next question is, are you prepared to change? Which is a pretty bloody good question in the game that we play. So that really holding the mirror up, if you're not happy, well, you got to be prepared to change. And then his third question was, because you'll say, oh yeah, I'm prepared to change. His third question was, are you sure? Are you sure you're prepared to change? And that's sort of so that's sort of by way of introduction is like, you're going to see opportunities to impact your business, but it's going to be about change and you've got to take it on. And I think the other thing from an introductory perspective today, as great as this is going to be, I don't think Bernard has unrealistic expectations that we're going to transform every business on the call today. But I think what we have potential to do is transform everybody's thinking about the potential of sales in their business. And if we accomplish that today, it's going to be well worth our investment and your investment in the 2 hours that we're with Bernard today. So with that, I will pass it over to Bernard to a lot of people they think they see potential, they're prepared to change, and they're answering, yes, they're prepared to change. So let's go and test them.
That's good. Now, can everybody hear okay? Give us a thumbs up if that hearing's good. Awesome. Thank you very much, Lee. Good to see you all. There's still a few cameras off, so you're welcome to turn it on. It's always nice being able to see you. So there's a thumbs up from Steve, so that's good. Thanks, Steve. Right, so I'm obsessed about sales, really obsessed, because it's a huge passion of mine and always has been since I think since I was a small child, maybe even before, or maybe even from the day I was born. I don't know, but anyway, we've always been into trying to sell stuff since a very young age, and I love to try and share this passion and inspire new groups of people. And through our Premier Business Academy, we do this all the time, is inspiring others to get a deeper understanding of sales and to grab these principles that we share and actually apply them in their businesses as quickly as possible. So today we've called this the Sales Magic Masterclass, which is a fancy name for let's smash some goals together. Let's talk to you about sales and how it can transform your business and give you a deeper understanding of it. So there's many tried and proven strategies and techniques that you can apply immediately in your business. So that's my goal, we're pretty different to other speakers or people or consultants that might have helped you with or tried to help you with sales in the past, as these are things that we use on a daily basis here at Premier Group in our bricks and paving business, which is our primary business. We use these techniques every day. We train our customer service team on these principles every day, our sales team, and every new person that comes in the door gets indoctrinated on these principles from day one. So learn how to fill your funnel. This is a big part of it, and 10x your business. If you're interested in growing your business and getting ahead and creating more success for yourself and your family, and for providing jobs for more people, helping to grow our little economy here in New Zealand. Have we got anyone from outside New Zealand on this call today? I'm not sure. Maybe. No one's yelling out, but maybe there is. But in New Zealand, I can speak for New Zealand, and that small business in this country accounts for 30% of the jobs, and every year it accounts for 50% of the new job opportunities. So I am super passionate, and we all are at Premier Group, about helping grow this economy. We're obviously coming up against some pretty strong economic headwinds pretty soon. They're predicting that the most challenging times in 160 years. So that's pretty full on. And if anyone studies economics, you can see where the quantitative easings, or the printing of money since 2009 has created this huge challenge for financial institutions right across the world and economies, and including our little government and our little country. So I'm really passionate about helping to grow your business, grow your sales. Obviously, that starts with sales and helping you provide more opportunity for you and your family and your community. So it's really a big passion. So turning your business into a sales machine is what we hope to inspire you to do today. So who am I? So my name is Bernard Powell. I'm the founder of and an ambassador for Premier Group NZ, and we manufacture the Premier brick range. You can see a couple of banners behind me, and the Premier pavers range, Premier schist, Premier stone, Premier clay block. There's lots of cool products we manufacture for the building and landscape industry. So by the way, if you're building or renovating, give us a call. We'd love to help you with an info pack. Send us an email, jump on our website, premierbrick.nz or premierpavers.nz. We would love to help. Or if you've got friends or family that are building or renovating, we can help them with some beautiful New Zealand made products. Lots of cool inspiring photographs and images and ideas. So there's some awesome service. We can also help you with approved installers, all these types of things as well. So we'd love to help. So that's what Premier Group is all about. We manufacture about 200 tons a day between our Hamilton factory and our Tauranga factory, and we're growing our market share day by day in this country. We're up against some big corporates, and we're causing them all sorts of headaches, which is lots of fun for us and in the business. So we're still a small business. We're 62 staff. We've got a huge we've got all sorts of challenging things in our business, all sorts of complexities. We're manufacturing, we're doing a little bit of importing. We sell through multiple different channels. We sell to Mitre 10 and Bunnings and Placemakers. We're their primary paving supplier. So there's lots of challenges in our business, and we work really hard to constantly refine and improve the business, and of course our sales efforts and strategies. So these are things you can apply straight away. These are things that are being used in our business and in all the businesses that we consult to through the Premier Business Academy as well. So please take notes as we go. We're going to go pretty quickly. We're going to pack in a lot of stuff in the next 90 minutes. So please take notes. We will do a Q&A at the end, and we'll make sure we've got some time to answer your questions. So please scribble down any questions or anything you missed. And we will actually be covering some stuff twice under some of the headings. So you will hear a couple of principles come across 2 or 3 times under different headings, because they apply in different parts of the sales piece, or the different parts of the sales strategy. So then there will also be a handout later on as well, to make sure there is some bullet points as well. But please do take notes, because there's lots of stuff. So what is sales? Is selling a dirty word? That's a question that we get asked, and it's a question that's on a lot of people's minds, which is pretty sad. And a lot of small business owners think of sales as a bit of a toxic term or a dirty word. So my goal is to elevate your view of sales. So what is sales? Well, we say at Premier Group, sales is a noble profession. So we say that salespeople are among the highest paid professionals, which is true worldwide. So it's a very highly sought after, and it's a highly valuable profession. Sales makes the world go around. So every economy in the world is built on sales. And one of our favorite sayings here is that nothing happens until somebody sells something. So it's pretty interesting way of thinking about selling. Nothing happens. So all the economies all around the world, including our little economy here in New Zealand, is built on sales. If people were not able to sell, we would have no money going around and we would not have an economy. We would not have jobs. We wouldn't have anything. So sales are our lifeblood. Another thing we say at Premier Group, sales equals survival. It equals bread on the table. So it's super important to grasp these concepts. And what I encourage every time I speak to groups of people like you folk is to share these principles with your team. So make sure your whole team understands these things and make sure your whole team is talking about these things, bringing them up in your morning meetings every day. Talk about one or two of these principles, help them to understand. Another thing I always like to share is that you are the CRO. You're the Chief Reminding Officer. So you might have a fancy title in your business right now, but your most important title is the CRO, the Chief Reminding Officer, because just because you trained your staff that sales equals survival and everyone got it a week ago, it doesn't mean they're going to still understand it next week. These principles, these ideas fade. The natural human tendency is decline. So we've got to keep reminding people about these key, important, critical principles. And before we go any further, actually, a little graph I like to share. It's pretty simple one. It says, you don't know what you don't know. Rob kind of touched on it in his introduction, but this is really important. I'm asking all of you on this call today to please have open minds and think about this principle. So this is you. This is the stuff you know right now. This little dot here is the stuff I know right now. And every outside of that is the stuff we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So it's an amazing, it's simple, but it's amazing how many small business owners and how many people in business, employees and employers, do not understand the simple principle, and they don't go in for growth and learning and grabbing new ideas and actually taking them and owning them. It's incredible how people just carry on doing the same things, getting the same results. So I'd encourage anyone on this call today is to think about this. And again, share this with your staff. Draw it up on a whiteboard in your next morning meeting and say, hey, I've just learned about this cool new little graph. It's really simple, but here's all the stuff we don't know as a team. And we need to keep expanding our little circle of knowledge so that every day we're learning and learning and learning. There's an old saying you've probably all heard, but the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. So we can keep learning and keep learning and keep learning till we're 6 feet under. So it's very, very important to keep on learning and keep on growing and growing. So think about that, because this is going to be important as we carry on through our session today. Hopefully there's a bunch of stuff that you don't know or you haven't thought of before, or perhaps hopefully help you to see it in a different light and take it and grasp it and grab it and action it immediately. Just take it and put it into action in your business. So it's super important. So just carrying on with this theme of what is sales, we live in a money economy and we can't escape that. So even if we want to, even if we talk about, there's lots of cute little sayings out there like follow your passion and you'll be happy, and that's fine, but that's really all it is. It's a cute little saying, because unfortunately, if your passion doesn't pay you and you can't get ahead by following your passion, you're going to struggle. If you can't sell your passion or what you're passionate about, you're not going to provide your family. It's actually selfish. So you need to seriously think about some of the cute little sayings that get thrown around on the internet, on Instagram and all these platforms. And if they've been influencing you and persuading you to relax and chill out and take a step back and not worry so much about chasing the money, then you are going to fail. Because mostly it's losers or people that have lost the game of life already that put out those quotes out there. So it's really important to get on and grasp the principle of success. Success is not selfish. Success is unselfish. So there's so many people in this world, again, that think of success as greed or these types of things. And I'm not saying, there's plenty of people out there that probably do take it to that extreme, but success is unselfish by very definition. The more jobs you can create, it's unselfish. You're helping put bread on people's tables. You're helping people to feed their families and get ahead and buy a house and buy a car and achieve their personal goals. That is unselfish. So you think of every entrepreneur, some work harder than others. Those that work hard and put their focus into the right things every day are the ones that are going to get ahead. So think about that. You cannot escape the fact we're in a money economy. So you have to make money. You have to get ahead. Success is very important. Sales is a process. So there's another thing I want to talk to you about. We talk about AIDA, A-I-D-A, attention, interest, desire, action. We talk about this a lot at Premier Group. It's a process, and we're going to cover off the sales funnel as part of this presentation today. Become a rainmaker is another thing. So what is a rainmaker? Well, the Red Indian tradition in America is that the rainmaker is the person who does the dance. He causes it to rain. He does the rain dance, causes it to rain, water the crops, and allows everybody to live and flourish and survive for another year. So become a rainmaker. Think about that in your business right now, in your life right now. Are you a rainmaker? Are you making it rain every day? What are you doing every day to water the crops, to help provide for your family, provide for yourself, and provide for your employees and those around you, providing for your community? Again, the more success you have, the more you can give to those that really need it. The more you can give to worthy charities. It's very, very key. So everything in life is a sale. There's another point I want to make, is that everything in life is a sale. So we have to, even to survive, we have to make a sale. So to get married, we have to make a sale. To buy, even when we're purchasing things, we have to make a sale. We might have to make a sale to our wife or our husband. Oh, I really, really need this car, or whatever it might be. Everything in life is a sale. So think about that. Sales is a noble profession. Sales makes the world go round. And we say at Premier Group, sales is the most valuable skill. So it doesn't matter if you're in production, if you're in customer service, if you're in dispatch, if you're in marketing, wherever you are, we say everyone at Premier Group is in sales. Everyone's in sales, so that everyone's got that sales mindset. Every customer that comes in the door, they might walk into a factory, they might be in dispatch, they might be talking to a truck driver, a delivery driver, they might be talking to someone in the queue in the subway at lunchtime, and everyone is in sales. They know, they understand that it's very key to keep talking about the brand, keep spreading the brand. So think about that. Think about this question: who pays for everything in your life? Think about that just for a moment before I give you the answer. When I talk about this in live audiences and I ask the crowd, we get all sorts of different answers. Sometimes it's my mum and dad, sometimes it's my boss, sometimes it's me, sometimes whatever it might be. So you get all sorts of answers, but the real answer is the customer. The customer pays for everything in your life. Again, you need to train your team around this principle. Excuse me. My mouth dries out fairly quickly. Sorry about that. So everything, and think about everything you have in your life right now is paid for by your customer. The roof over your head, the car, the computer you're looking at right now, your home that's around you, it's all paid for by the customer. So really, you need to grasp that, share that with your team, and talk about it all the time. And then think about this. So what are you really selling? What are you really selling to your customers? Are you giving them their time back? You're improving their life in some way. You're helping them to grow their business. You are helping them to have more time with their family because your product does this, this, and this. So think about that, because you're in business to improve the life of the customer. That's what sales, that's what business is really all about. We're in business to improve the life of the customer. So think about that. Again, share that with your team. So those are just a few ideas I wanted to share around what is sales. Is sales a dirty word? Absolutely not. It is an absolute noble profession, and you need to lift your sights on sales and help lift your team's sights on sales as well. Make sure you're sharing it with everybody in your organization, in your business. Now we're going to talk about the sales funnel before we move on to lots of other little tips around sales. So this is really important. So we talk about this in every sales presentation we do, because a lot of business owners don't have a basic understanding of the sales funnel. So we're gonna talk you through this. We might need to zoom in a little bit, Aisha, on the funnel potentially. I'm not sure if you can see the words, but I'll try and run you through this. So the sales funnel. So right at the top of the funnel is marketing campaigns. So that's where you might be doing telesales, you might be doing email blasts, social media campaigns, Google AdWords, Facebook ads, all those types of things. So you're driving traffic into the top of the funnel, which creates awareness, right? So that's the first touch point someone might have about your business. Again, telesales or any other type of marketing campaign. So from awareness, you need to then take them down the funnel to interest. So they're actually not just aware of your brand, but they're interested in your brand. So I'm going to keep repeating this as we go. Sales is a process, and so many people get emotionally attached to sales, or they make up all sorts of excuses for why their business isn't growing or why things aren't going the way it should be. So today I want you to stop making excuses and stop making excuses for yourself and to your team, whatever it might be, and take full ownership of these principles and techniques we're going to share today. So sales is a process. So it's literally a numbers game. If you put 100 in the top, 100 leads in the top, you should be able to figure out over time what you're getting out the bottom. So let's say and you should figure out your conversion percentage and ratio. So you just might say you get 100 in the top, 50 of those or 30 of those might get a quote, and 3 of those might become a sale. So you got 3% strike rate from 100 leads to 3 sales. So you've got to know thy numbers. We say this all the time at Premier Group, know thy numbers. So you take them from awareness, then to interest, then to evaluation. So they're evaluating, they might get they're interested, they ask for some information, then they get your brochure in the mail, your info pack, just like we will send you an info pack if you want one for your home renovation or your home build. Then you evaluate that brochure, you open the pack and you go, yeah, this is interesting. I think we'll take it further. I think we'll get a quote. So you take them down to commitment. So you're filling the funnel, and the goal is for every business to make sure the funnel is full at every level all year around. So when is the best time to do marketing? All year round. When's the best time to do marketing? In good times and bad times. See, so many businesses, especially small businesses who don't have a solid marketing strategy or a simple marketing plan, they have this turbulent ride of sales and then down and then sales and then down because they are not keeping their funnel full. And we're going to help you to understand this more and how to fill the funnel. So evaluation, commitment, they make a commitment to get a quote or to even take it further, get some more samples. And then we also put in our funnel, we put in here referral, because this means that every time you're dealing with a client, you're always thinking about in the back of your mind, I want to get a referral out of this client, even if they never buy from me, even if they or if they do or don't buy, we still want a referral out of this client. So it helps you to make sure your marketing is good. It makes sure you don't make a bad call or you don't make a bad face-to-face visit. So you're improving the quality of how you do these things all the time. So that's referral. And then at the bottom, of course, is repeat. So you want them to just keep coming back for more. So if it's a repeat client, they're just going to stay down in here and they're going to keep circling around. Like in our business, we have builders that are buying. Yeah, you can zoom out now. Aisha, that's awesome. We have clients that are buying bricks all day long. You know, some clients will be buying $100,000 of bricks a year. Some will be buying 200,000, 300,000, whatever it is. So we always got to have a strategy to make sure they stay in the funnel, they stay interested, they keep seeing our USPs, they know why they do business with us. So you don't get complacent about your regulars either. So this is really important things to understand about your funnel. So other thing to remember right at the top here is only a very small percentage of people that your marketing campaigns are touching are ready to buy right now. So some will go right to the bottom of the funnel very quickly, and you might make a sale on the first phone call. We're going to help you with how to do quote follow-up and how to implement these things. But it's really important to share this again with your team. Draw this funnel up and put it as a poster in front of you on your wall. And especially in your sales meetings, you should be having at least a weekly sales meeting to evaluate your funnel. And you should be at least estimating how many people or how many dollars worth of leads or quotes are at every level in the funnel. Super, super important to start to put these things into place in your business. Whether you are a team of 1 or a team of 100, whatever it is, start today. The best time to start is yesterday. The next best time to start is today. So get into it. So ensure your whole team understands the funnel and why it is so critical to keep it full. End of the day, that the whole success of your business depends on this, and the whole success of your team depends on this. It's job security, it's bread on the table. So really important to share these things. Every call you make, every follow-up you make should move your prospect further down the funnel. So again, this is why it's important to understand the funnel. Every call. So you take them from awareness, cool. Would you like a brochure? Yes, awesome. So they get sent a brochure. Then we ring them up again and say, so how did you get on with the brochure? What did you think? What did you think of such and such? We would love to give you a quote for such and such or send you some samples. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's do that. Then, so every phone call, you're going to have a bunch of customers at every level in the funnel. So every call, the goal on every call is to move that client further down the funnel. Let's say you're doing 10 quote follow-up calls a day. Well, every one of those 10 people are probably going to be at a different stage in the funnel, and you've got to keep on trying to pull each one a little bit further down until you get the sale at the bottom. Some of them might take 6 months to get from here to here, depending what type of business you're in. In our business, we've got various parts of our business. So the reseller model, they're just buying and selling all day long. So we're getting repeat orders from them every day, like the Mitre 10s and the Bunnings stores. but then we might get a builder who hears about us for the first time, and it might take 6 months from first point of contact to the time he actually buys a house lot of bricks from us. Or for an architect, it's even longer. Sometimes he might specify us on a plan. He'll specify some premier pavers or some premier brick or premier schist, and it might take 24 months before it becomes a sale. But we do not let go of that lead. We follow it all the way through the funnel. So it's super, super important to understand these things. So build rapport. So the goal on every call is to build rapport and get a commitment to move further down the funnel. Really, really important. So think about the other thing too. Is another thing I want you to think about is lead measures and lag measures. So a lead measure is like a quote follow-up call. A lag measure is a sale. So that's after the event. A sale is a result of a lead measure, if that makes sense. So you can control your lead measures. They're the one thing you can control. And eventually you'll be able to predict your lag measures within a few $1,000s a month. That's what we can do at Premier Group. And we're selling millions of dollars of products a year. So it's really important. And we can literally predict our sales within a few $1,000s every single month because we know where our funnel is at and we know what's coming out the bottom. So it's super, super powerful, and you can do it in your business. Doesn't matter what size your business is. So think about why I shared the lead and the lag measure is because you are in full control of the lead measures. If you choose to do 20 quote follow-up calls a day, up from 10 calls a day, that's double your lead measures. So eventually you're going to get double your sales or double your lag measure. So you can control them. So a lag measure also is it's something you can't control at the start. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So really, really powerful to get that principle and start to use it. Make sure you pique their interest on every call. That's really important right from the first call. Might be whether it's a special offer or the way you talk on the phone or the way you answer the phone. Make sure you're building scripts in your business where when you're doing quote follow-up, there's always some value. You're piquing interest immediately. So what's in it for me? So when we do a quote follow-up here at Premier Group, we might say, hey, Pete, we're just following up on the house lot of bricks for lot, blah, blah, blah. By the way, did you know now that we are also supplying the mortar, sand, and cement as well? So would you like us to add that onto your order? We can make things a lot easier for you. We can remove some hassle. So those types of conversations, make sure you've always got something fresh and new and interesting to share with your client on every quote follow-up call. So always use a script as part of this. Every sales trainer's got different opinions on this. At Premier Group, we use them. They're a fallback or a framework. So it's like we liken it to an aircraft or where you've got, let's say, a Boeing 747, which they're out of the air now, 737. It's a highly tuned machine, a highly organized framework, but the pilot still has autonomy to make decisions within that framework. So it's the same thing. That's what a script is all about. It's a fallback, it's a framework. It's really important to at least start with something. Reinforce your USPs all the time as you're going through the funnel. So never presume that your clients know or remember what your unique selling points are or your advantages and features and benefits. Always keep reminding as you go through. By the way, I just wanted to remind you that our product has the straightest and truest dimensions in the market. I understand you're a first-time client, and a lot of our regular clients feed this back to us all the time. I just want to make sure you are aware of that. It's a really important point to note about our product. So these are the types of things. You never presume that even a regular client that's been with you for 2 years, don't presume or assume that he knows your don't presume or assume that he knows your USPs or she knows your USPs, that you've got a 10-year warranty or that you've got this or that, because they forget. They're busy. They're dealing with all sorts of other things in their life. So another thing to remember about the funnel is your goal is to be a trusted advisor or a consultant, and you need to hold their hand all the way through the funnel. So it's about being a trusted advisor, not a salesperson, not a rep. It's being a trusted advisor or a consultant, and you've got to hold their hand all the way through. Make sure that they understand everything as you go through. That's why you explain the quote to them, or you explain the brochure to them, or you might get on the website with them while you're on the phone and you explain certain pages to them, and make sure they've got that you're just leading them by the hand, step by step through the funnel. Super, super powerful, super, super important. Remove every obstacle to buy. That's the other really important thing is, Aisha, would you mind just lifting it up a little bit? Remove every obstacle to buy. So making sure that at each point where there's an obstacle or an objection, and we're going to talk about how to overcome objections, but that you're removing those obstacles, you're removing those objections, so it becomes a natural process, and they just gradually slide down the funnel or through the funnel, however fast that might be. As I said, it could be one day, it could be one phone call, it might be 50 phone calls, it might be 6 months, it might be 24 months. Really important. Also, another really important note around the funnel, like I said, make sure you have a campaign, whether it's an e-blast campaign, whether it's a retargeting campaign, whether it's a snail mail, mail out, whatever it might be. Make sure there's a campaign that keeps your regular customers on the hook so that they don't disappear. Do not neglect your existing customer base. Again, it's a massive mistake that so many small businesses owners make. They spend all their effort and energy trying to attract new clients and new leads all the time, and they neglect their gold mine, which is their existing customers, their existing database. Make sure they're getting some kind of added value from you at least every single month. I would say every single week. In our business, we send out what we call a Business Success Thursday newsletter every single week, the Motivational Monday newsletter every single week. So we do it twice a week at least. You might not find that right for your business, or you may. So you need to test and trial, but make sure you're adding some value, giving some unexpected value, and keeping in touch with your existing client base or old client base. Might be someone that's brought once, for example, at Premier Group. If you buy house bricks, you might not build a house again for 10 years, but you stay on our database, you'll be getting something from us very regularly. You're always getting some unexpected and added value. So really, really important. The other thing to remember about the funnel is as you go through, plan every call. It doesn't mean you spend half an hour planning the phone call. It means you take 60 seconds to scribble down a couple of goals for that call. It might say, well, I want to take this client from having a brochure and some samples. I want to get a quote opportunity. So make sure there's something scribbled down in your diary before each call, just a little goal. Keep it simple and just get on with it. Don't use it as a delaying tactic, because that's the worst thing we see a lot of in small business is procrastination and delay from picking up the phone call. People are scared to pick up the phone. The phone is your secret weapon. We're going to refer to this more. So just always remember that. The phone is your secret weapon. Anyone can send an email. Anyone can hide behind a keyboard. But it takes someone with a little bit of courage to pick up the phone and ask for the order. Pick up the phone and ask, did you get the sample? Did you get the brochure? What did you think? That's the gold. So think about that. And like I said, it's literally a numbers game. And I think I also covered review this every week with your sales team. Make sure you know where this is up to. So that kind of covers the funnel briefly. We will be referring back to it again as we go. So is the hearing still good? Everyone's good. Too fast, too slow? I can speed it up or slow it down. There's a lot of content to get through. Everyone's good? Awesome. So we're going to quickly talk about the 7-stage sales process. It's called consultative selling. Again, it kind of all ties together with this. So it's called the 7-stage sales process. So this is number 1 is the sales planning, research, and setting objectives. So this is where, depends on the type of business you're in. This might be a 60-second exercise. For some businesses, it might be a 4-hour exercise. Make sure you get the sales planning, research, and setting objectives done. What are we trying to achieve here with this client? Number 2 is setting the right climate. So making sure you're booking a meeting. If it's at your premises, make sure you've got a room set aside. It's comfortable. You've got coffee and tea available, all the basics. So make sure you set the right climate for the next step. Number 3 is understanding the customer's needs. So making sure you're asking probing questions, asking intelligent questions. At Premier Group, we have a list of 20 intelligent questions on the back of every show home or face-to-face checklist that goes out with our sales team, our face-to-face sales team. So there's a bunch of questions they can pick from that to ask. And they might just prep up from that before they go in and see that client, whether it's a builder or an architect. So really important to start working on that as well. So that's number 3, which is understanding customer needs. Number 4 is summary and pre-close. So summarizing. So we've talked about this and this and this. So this is when you're either face-to-face or phone or a Zoom meeting. So we're talking about a 7-stage process from setting objectives for this customer right through to hopefully getting the order at the end of this. So this is what we call the trusted advisor process. So summary and pre-close. So looks like Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, we've covered this, this, and this. These were the things that you were concerned about. We've covered this by this, this, and this. If we're all going well, could we look at getting this signed up as an order? We're going to talk about how to close deals soon too. But so this is the summary and the pre-close. Number 5 is presenting solutions. So it's like, here's the product we think is going to fit your need or the service. This is what it's all about. Here's the price, blah, blah, blah. So presenting your solutions. And then number 6 is handling any concerns. So hopefully they, through your probing and questioning, they might bring up some extra concerns or some new concerns after you've presented your solution, and then you're seeking agreement. So handling concerns and seeking agreement. And then number 7 is follow-up, and we're going to do a whole piece on how to follow up and why follow-up is so important. So that's really a simple step-by-step process on what that looks like. And we use this process at Premier Group all day long. So some of our clients, like architects, this is a longer process. For sometimes it's just done on the phone. So it's really with a homeowner. So really, you've got to have a different strategy for each client. Another thing I want to share that's really important is the 6-cylinder engine. This is about you. This is how you need to be to make sure you reach peak performance, and you need to maintain and tune all of these cylinders all the time so they're running smoothly, and helping you to be the best salesperson and business person you can be. So the cylinder number 1 is market and industry knowledge and competitor knowledge. So you know your market inside out, your industry inside out, you're up to date, you know what your competitors are up to. So it's really important to get finely tuned on this. We get all of our sales team here at Premier Group to understand our competitors' products better than they do. So it's quite powerful. So you become an industry expert, but this is a really important cylinder. So keep on training, keep on learning, again, keep growing. So number 1, market / industry / competitor knowledge. The next one is product knowledge. Now, it sounds obvious, but again, it's incredible how many small business, the owner might know all about the products, but then there's no one else in the team that has a deep understanding of the products and services. So know thy products and services, and keep learning. Make sure your team are learning. Make sure they're learning every day in your morning meetings, something new about the products. At Premier Group, we always come up with a product question like, hey, can anyone tell me the dimension of this product? Can anyone tell me the use of this product? So there's random questions across the team in every single morning meeting to make sure product knowledge is always growing amongst the team. So really important. Number 3 is company knowledge. So how much do you and your team know about your company, about the brand, about your history, about why you're in business, your mission, your vision, your values? So you may not have all these things very clear right now, but this will help you to get clearer on these. What do they know about your company right now? Well, let's help them to understand a bit more about the company every single day. Again, in the morning meeting, it's a powerful platform to help your team grow and learn. So that's really key. So that's number 3. Number 4 is selling knowledge. Do they know how to sell? What sales training are you giving your team every day? Are they watching a short sales video every day? Are they reading a book about sales every day? What are they doing every day to grow and learn and improve their selling knowledge or your selling knowledge? So listen to a podcast. There's some great stuff out there. There's some great stuff on the net. There's also some terrible stuff, but make sure you're picking out the right stuff and learning how to sell. Number 5, the 5th cylinder, is attitude. And we've talked about this at the start. You've got to have a success mindset. You've got to have a great attitude towards sales, towards your business, towards life. No matter what's going on in your personal life, you have to get up and do it again the next day. And you have to always be improving and working on your attitude. So that's number 5. Number 6 is personal mindset and health. So make sure you're keeping fit and healthy, eating good stuff, putting good things into your body. Make sure you're keeping fit, you're going for a walk, you're doing some press ups, you're doing something to keep yourself positive and motivated. We all know the benefits of exercise and sleep and good eating. It's boundless. So make sure you're really working on that number 6 cylinder as well. So those are the 6 cylinders, and you need those all running in unison to make sure you are reaching peak performance. So that's really key. Now, next one. This is a big one. This is called Build a Sales Success Mindset and Habits, and we cover a lot of points in this section here. So hopefully there's lots of new ideas you can take away. Again, there's some things that we've already kind of covered, but a bunch of new stuff here as well. So number 1, understanding that sales is a process. We've covered that. Really key. Number 2, everybody is a potential referrer or client. Never forget that. So everyone you bump into, a supplier, a freight, someone that's picking up your freight, your deliveries, the person that's looking after your IT, the person that's in the queue at the bakery, whatever it might be, everybody is a potential client or a referrer. Treat everyone with respect. Treat everyone how you want to be treated. Treat everybody with kindness and respect. So super, super important. It's amazing, again, how many people treat their suppliers like rubbish. They're a supply partner. They're a key part of your business. Treat them like a customer. It's really, really powerful. Number 3, keep your funnel full. We've talked about it. How full is your funnel? Number 4, commit to daily action and daily KPIs, which is key performance indicators. If you haven't got any right now, write this down as an idea, and then you can build them with your team. So brainstorm it with your team. What are our KPIs each day? It might be, number 1 might be, I need to get $5,000 of sales. Number 2 might be, I need to make 10 quote follow-up calls. Number 3 might be, I need to get at least $5,000 of quotes in every day. So you might have 3 or 4 KPIs, and make sure they're being hit every single day. Very, very, very critical. Write them in your diary and make sure your sales team is reporting back to you on those actions. Also, another thing to remember is customers buy your why. What is your purpose? What is your mission? So start to clear that up with your team as well. Why are we in business? Why do we get out of bed every morning? Is it just to make money, or is it more than that? I encourage every business to create a change the world mission, which sounds big, but it can be very, very simple. An illustration I like to use, if you're a hot dog stand selling hot dogs, your mission might be to feed the neighborhood. That's a change the world mission. So it's not just to make healthy hot dogs, not to make healthy hot dogs and make some money. It's to feed the neighborhood. So think about these things. Stupid example, I know, but it's very simple. So remember, customers want to find out what you're passionate about, why you're in business, why you do what you do. Number 6, growth happens outside your comfort zone. Again, you have to get outside your comfort zone. You won't grow inside your comfort zone. So this is how to build a sales or a success mindset and build some good habits. So every day, if you don't feel comfortable talking to clients on the phone, get on the phone, make 5 phone calls, commit to that, or 10 phone calls. You might have a list of existing clients and a list of potential clients in the front of your diary. And from that list, every day, at least commit to ringing 1 person on each side of that list each day. That's 2 phone calls. Get outside your comfort zone. You will grow, your business will grow, your team will grow, everybody will grow. Really, really important. Follow-up is king. This is point number 7, and we're going to talk about this as a whole separate section. So get obsessed about follow-up, because there's more to come on that. Number 8, dollarize. So Rainmakers sell money. Make sure you're turning your benefits into dollars. So yes, we've got a 10-year warranty. Well, what does that look like? It means that you might spend $1,000 more on a Premier Pavers driveway, but over 10 years, that's $100 a year for peace of mind. That's a really, really cheap warranty. That's really, really cheap peace of mind. And in 10 years, when you sell your home, you've still got a beautiful looking driveway compared to a poured, cracked, ugly concrete driveway with no warranty, no backup, no nothing. It's gone blotchy. You've spent $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 on this thing. So it's really important. Turn it, dollarize it. So Rainmakers turn their benefits into money. They dollarize. So really important to get into that habit. If we keep doing the same things, we will get the same results. We've talked about that. Take action today. Take action tomorrow. Give unexpected value and be generous. This is a habit you must get into. So when our sales team turns up for a new appointment to see a new client, they'll take a bottle of wine. They'll have their agenda. There's always something being given away. At the end of a job, you'll get a box of chocolates, depending on the size of the job. Our regular clients get gift hampers. Keep on giving, being known as the most generous person in your industry. It's really, really important, a really, really important mindset or a habit to build. The next one is number 11. We've kind of covered this as well, but why are we in business? We're in business to improve the life of the customer, to solve their problems. So just keep on thinking about that every day. Write it down, put it on your wall. If you're forgetting how important that customer is, write these things down. Another key thing to remember, number 11 or number 12 it is, ABC, always be closing. From the first time you take that inbound phone call, from the first time you send out a marketing message, always be closing, always be ready to close the deal, always be working towards closing that deal. Really, really key habit to build. Sell, number 13 is sell in this order. Sell yourself, then sell your company, and then sell your product. Too many reps turn up here at Premier Group and they try and talk to us about their products. We don't know anything about them, so we don't build any rapport or trust, and we don't know anything about their company. Then they might start talking about their company, then they might start talking about who they are. It's too late. They've lost our attention, they've lost it. Sell yourself first. It only needs to take 60 seconds to build some rapport and say, hey, I'm Bernard Powell from blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm here today. I really want to add some value and talk to you about blah, blah, blah. Super important. Then sell your company, talk about your company, then sell your products and services. Really, really key to do it in that order. Next one is 14. This is a simple one. Write down every call and return it. So in your diary, on one part of your diary should be your phone calls. This is what we all do at Premier Group. So you get an inbound call, you write it down, and you make sure by the end of the day that call is returned. Super, super important. Take more shots at goal. So take more shots at goal. More shots equals more goals. So again, take massive action. If you're not growing your business right now, if sales are just not happening, take more shots at goal. Send out more e-blasts, send out more, crank out more phone calls, telesales phone calls or telemarketing, whatever you want to call it. Just do more stuff. Take more shots at goal. Really, really important. So take massive action every single day. Number 17 is, and we've talked about it, you are in control of your lead measures. You can't control the weather. You can't control the government. There's lots of things you can't control, but you can control your lead measures. So own them. Totally own those lead measures. Phone calls, emails, all the things you can control. Take ownership and 10x it. The next one is really important to get this habit in your business. Always prepare and give vivid and compelling presentations. So whether it's a quote presentation or whatever it might be, or your brochures or your website, keep on working to make sure it's compelling and it's vivid and it's fantastic. Less text, more images. A picture paints 1,000 words. It's an old saying, but again, how many small businesses have brochures full of text or websites full of text, or when they turn up in a face-to-face meeting, they're just not showing enough images. Make it compelling and make it vivid. So really, really important. Another simple tip, save every phone number you get, every inbound call. Make sure you save that person's number. They are a future client, a potential client. I think I've got over 3,000 contacts on my phone at the moment. Keep on building, keep on building. It's like a database in its own. We've got 27,000 contacts on our database at Premier Group. So it's really important every day. Get obsessed about adding numbers, add them to your phone. And then you might be updating on WhatsApp or Facebook and all those things. They're going to start seeing your marketing messages every single day. And they might not buy for 2 years. They might never buy, but they might refer you to somebody. The lifetime value of that person could be huge. So think about that. They might be worth $10,000 a year to your business or $100,000. We used to have little stickers on our phones here at Premier Group when we used to have the old pickup ones saying, this is a $50,000 phone call. So when you pick up the phone, you're smiling, you're pumped, and you're giving it all you've got to make sure you give that client a fantastic experience. Be clear, be 100% clear on your USPs. This is point number 20 here. What do you do differently to everybody else? What is your unique selling proposition? And make sure it's not the same as your competitors. What are the truly different things? Why should people do business with you? You need to know them off by heart. Your team needs to know them off by heart. There might be 3 or 4 or 5 key things that you need to know off by heart, and they should be coming up in every discussion, every brochure, every web or the websites you have, all the ads and things that you do as well. So really important. What else is there? At Premier Group, we're obsessed about creating a customer obsession culture, a culture where everybody is obsessed about customers. So make sure you're working on that from today on. Again, use your morning meeting. We are obsessed about customers. Make sure that is true of your business from today on. Create, here's another really important point, and this is simple to do. Create and act on a simple list of customer service policies. So e.g., how many rings before we pick up the phone? How quickly do we get back to clients on a quote? Is it 48 hours? Is it 24 hours? What's our guarantee? Do we pick up the phone within 3 rings? So make sure you've got some basic policies so that everything you're doing is improving the life of the customer. There should be a bare minimum standard at the very least. How quickly do we reply to our emails? How quickly do we do this or that or these or those? And you won't be long, you've got, let's say, 10 policies. Everyone knows about them, and we talk about them in every morning meeting. Okay, we struggled to get to the phone within 3 rings yesterday. There were so many inbound calls. Right, what do we need to do to fix that problem? And you need to be fixing these problems daily, solving them as a team. Another thing to think about, every no is closer to a yes. Always think about that. Every no is closer to a yes, and it's absolutely, again, critical to share this with your team. The next point is 24, differentiate or die. So I struggle with that word. So again, we've talked about USPs, but you should be able to say, we are the people who. We are the people who provide this and this. We are the people who provide this and this. You need to differentiate or die. Basically, that's the option. So make sure you are very clear on that. Next step, or the next point is provide uplifting service. What is service? So at Premier Group, we talk about this a lot. Again, people in your business right now, or even maybe even yourself, might have a very, maybe not quite the understanding or the perception of what service really is. We say at Premier Group that service is the highest honor you can be involved in, because without the service of others, none of us would be here. None of us would be on this call today. None of us would be where we are without the service of others, the service of our parents, the service of the midwife that helped to deliver us on the very first day on earth, the fire department, the government, the local council, the people who pick up your rubbish. All around us every day, people are serving us. The police department to keep us safe, the ambulance, the paramedics, all these things. Every day we're being served all around us without even knowing it. So we're all here through the service of others. So it's the greatest honor to be able to serve someone else. And so we say at Premier Group, service can change someone's day. Service can change someone's week. Uplifting service can change a community. It can change the world. So think about creating uplifting. How can you create uplifting experiences or delightful experiences for every single client? Everyone that rings into your business, everyone that emails in, everyone that you phone out. Create a culture where your people they understand that service is the highest honor. So we talk, again, at Premier Group, we talk about servant leadership a lot. When we talk about leadership, it's about what are we doing as leaders to serve our people. So it's really, really key. Think about service, have your sights lifted on what it is, and make sure you're sharing that with your team. Provide uplifting service to every client or every prospect. One more thing on this page is a clear desk equals a clear head. So make sure when you're doing your quote follow-up or when you're about to crank out an e-blast, whatever you're doing, a clear desk equals a clear head. So that's really, really important. Excuse me. Number 27 on this is add value for your database. We've kind of covered it, but if you've got a database, use it, work it, make sure it's a gold mine. So use it. Again, small businesses, some don't even have a database. They'll get clients in the door and they'll leave again without asking them for their name, email, phone number. At the very least, get those things, add them to a spreadsheet. If you haven't got a CRM or a client relationship management system, make sure you've at least got a spreadsheet where you're building up every single new lead so that you can send them an e-blast, an email out. You can phone them again. You can do this and do that. So it's a gold mine. Use it every single day. Use it every week. Work it. So get obsessed about adding new leads every day too. So you might get an email from a supplier, or you might get an email from someone trying to sell you something, or emails come from all directions every day, as we all know. Phone calls come from all directions every day. Make sure you're grabbing those details. You grab their number, you find out a bit about them. At the very least, get their basic details and add them to your database. So create a team that is obsessed about adding new leads every day. Explain to them that this is your future. Each new lead you add every day could be lunch on the table for another week or another month or another year. The lifetime value of this prospect or this lead could be $10,000 a year. It could be $100,000. And a lifetime value might be $1 million. So it might be 2 million, 10 million. So really make sure your team gets obsessed about treating leads with respect. Inbound leads, make sure they get straight onto your database immediately. Share and celebrate every success. At Premier Group in our head office, we have a bell that we ring. So whatever it might be for you, we also send out all staff emails. We have a sales chat. So share and celebrate every success. Hey, I've got a new lead, or I've got a new quote, or we've just nailed this big deal, or we've just got this massive quote. We've just had our biggest month. Every success you should be celebrating. Shout your team lunch. If you have a record month, shout them lunch. Again, it's simple stuff, but it's reinforcing a winning culture. No one wants a losing culture, or no one wants a team of losers, and no one wants a losing team. Winning culture, create a winning culture. It's really, really important. So start a sales chat. I'll build off that. Make sure you use WhatsApp is great, and call it the whatever ABC company sales chat, sales good news, or the positive news chat. And make sure your team, you start to lead by example, and you should be adding 2 or 3 things on there a day. So really, really, really powerful. So Another cool quote I like to share is that people will forget what you did, people will forget what you said, but people will never forget the way you made them feel. So circling back to what I talked about creating delightful experiences, think about that. How can you create raving fans in your business? For your business? How can you create evangelists for your brand? Not just satisfied customers, because in today's world, unfortunately, satisfied customers don't last. They don't stick around. It's not good enough. You need to get up to the next level, raving fans, or create evangelism. So really, really important in your business to think about that. So how are you making people feel when they ring in, when you email them, any interaction they have, face-to-face, whatever it might be. Make sure your team gets obsessed with daily learning. So again, Audible, podcasts, whatever it might be. Download the Audible app. Make sure your team is getting obsessed about daily growth and learning. Another thing to think about is high quality quote presentation. So if you can, deliver it personally, book a meeting, go through the quote together, especially if it's a high value. Depends what business you're in. You might be only selling a $10 item. Then of course, you're not going to be able to book a face-to-face meeting for every $10 quote. But set up a system where people are getting high quality or you're raising the perception of value, creating value right from the quoting stage, and make sure you are really, really blowing them away right from the first quote they get. Ask for the order. That's my next point. 34. So many people in business are scared to ask for the order. Keep asking for the order, face to face, on the phone. Like I said, always be closing, but keep asking for the order. We've talked about this, know thy product inside and out. But again, to build a success mindset around sales, to build a winning culture, your team needs to train. You must become experts. Really, really key. Another really simple tip we use here at Premier Group is put your photo on your email signature. It builds trust, it builds rapport. In today's world of multi-email communication, it's a really fast way to build trust. We've got so many clients here at Premier Group that have actually never seen us face to face, but when we first meet them, they're like, oh, how's it going, Bernard? Or how's it going, Morgan? Or how's it going, Danny? Or how's it going, Tane? It's like they know us really, really well, and we forget that we've never met them because they've seen our faces so many times on email. So it builds trust, it builds rapport, and it might be the one thing that's different between you and your competitors. So you're building faster trust between your customer service team than your competitors are, just because of that one thing. So it's really easy to do, really simple. Make sure you're smiling in your photo. Bonus tip, just in case. Okay, the morning meeting, I've referred to this several times. Because we give culture presentations here at Premier Group as well, helping people to build epic workplace cultures. The morning meeting is the glue that holds it all together. It's the platform. You need to figure out a way, whether it's on the phone, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's on Zoom, whatever it is, a quick 10-minute or 15-minute morning meeting that covers a simple agenda to share your wins, share your problems and challenges so you can problem solve them as a team. And you might be spread across different locations. However you make it work and make it happen until it's a daily discipline in your business. You will find the power of the morning meeting is just unbelievable. Your business will 10x just from that one thing. So just try and figure out a way to make that happen. So that's really, really, really powerful. And then for your sales team, the weekly impact meeting is one thing we hold here at Premier Group. So if you can do that in your business, hold a weekly impact meeting around sales. So your sales team comes in, or you do it on Zoom, and each one sets their goals. They report on their total KPIs for the week before, and then they're holding each other accountable. It's 4DX. It's like from the 4 disciplines of execution. If anyone's read that, some of you probably have. And this is it. Setting goals in front of one another and then being held accountable to those goals next week. It's so powerful, and that'll help keep driving your sales team forward and driving your business forward. So daily reports, keep score. At Premier Group, we have live dashboards everywhere. It wasn't always like this. We started with whiteboards. When we understood the power of a scoreboard, things changed. So you need to think about this. Whatever your favorite sport is, think about going to your next game. You walk into the stadium, whether it's rugby or netball or soccer or whatever it might be. You walk into the stadium, you sit down, the game starts, someone scores a goal, and there's no scoreboard. It's not very long before the whole stadium's empty, right? Everyone's going to go and get on the can pretty quickly. Earlier, if they weren't already on the whatever, they're going to get on it after. So you've got to think about that. It's the same thing in your business. How does your team know if you're winning or losing if you're not keeping score? As I said, start with a whiteboard. That's what we started with. So we've got live dashboards everywhere now. We can see where sales are up to by the minute, quotes are up to by the minute, all sorts of things by the minute. It's really important. So gradually try and build that, but start with a whiteboard, start with some numbers. So you can walk in and you can see we're winning or we're losing. Who's keeping score? All the meaning goes out of the game if there's no scoreboard. That's why I use that example of a sports stadium. Where's the meaning in the game? It's gone. The fun's gone. The meaning's gone. Nothing's there. The stadium empties out. Everyone goes home really, really disappointed, or to the pub, and they get really, really drunk because they're so upset. So think about that. It's really, really key to set up scoreboards. What we do for our reps on the road, or our ambassadors on the road, I should say, reps a dirty word, is that we have SPH, sales per hour. So an email goes out of our CRM every single hour showing everybody by their quote value and everybody by their sales value. So a lead measure and a lag measure. And it drives a lot of competition. We open that email and we go, okay, Isaac's winning, or Jackson's winning, or Bernard's winning. Hopefully that's the case. That's my goal every day. So it's really important. It drives a lot of competition. It makes it fun, and it means you're keeping yourself accountable by the day. Again, incredible how many businesses don't measure their stuff. They don't even measure it daily. Some are not even weekly, some not even monthly. So start to get obsessed about keeping score. Really important. And then at every meeting, here's another tip I want to share. This is what we do at Premier Group. Every single face-to-face meeting, we have an agenda. So we take along an agenda. It's on our Premier Group agenda. We have a clipboard. We take notes. Sounds old-fashioned, right? But we're sitting there and we're the only ambassador, or they call them reps out there, or from any company in our industry that actually sits there and takes notes while the client talks. They feel valued. They feel special. They feel like they're being listened to. They go, this guy's going to follow us up, or this girl's they're taking notes. They care about us, and they're going to follow this through. How many reps have you had in your office that have never taken notes and never got back to you, or they might have missed half the things you talk about? They might get back to you on 3 things, but there were 6 things you talked about. Everyone's had that experience. Don't be that person. Change that today. It's simple, costs you nothing. So use a checklist. Make sure on that agenda there's a checklist. Happy to share our template with you guys. No worries. Just send me an email. Bernard@premier-group.co.nz. I'll share you our template we use every day in our face-to-face visits. Take a thank you gift. I've covered this already, but take a thank you gift. Take a bottle of wine. Might cost you $9, might cost you $12. Doesn't matter. Take a bottle of wine as a thank you gift. By the way, Mr. Customer, Mrs. Customer, thank you so much for your time. I wanted to just give you this bottle of wine. If you don't drink wine, that's fine. Give it to someone else, but I just wanted to say thank you. And ask for the order. So at every meeting, these are things that we do at Premier Group every single time. So don't miss. Keep your promises. Number 44. We've covered it kind of, but keep your promises, small and big. Because if you can't keep the small ones, you're going to lose trust real quick. Your customer's going to go, well, if they don't send me that brochure I asked for, what's going to happen when I order $10,000 worth of bricks? No bricks, right? So really, really important. Last point on this is it's always day one. So you're only as good as your last day. At Premier Group, we say it's always day one. You are only as good as your last day in the dispatch team. That's why we say to them, your customer judges you by your worst thing. You could have sent out 100 tons of product yesterday, everything's stickered properly, beautiful premier product. And then tomorrow, someone goes and puts on 5 stickers that are twisted. That is us. We're only as good as that. That's the brutality, the reality of business. You are only as good as your last phone call, your last delivery, your last day. So you've got to get up and do it again. And you've got to create a culture that understands that. You cannot rest on your laurels. We're always searching for excellence. Really, really important. Anyway, now we're moving on to follow-up is king. Is everybody going okay? I just want to check in. We've been going for an hour. Rob, is everybody happy? Awesome. Awesome. There's a few smiles there, so that's good to see. Courtney, you've got a friend with you there. Unless one of you is called Courtney and one of you is called Dick, but I'm imagining that's a surname. I can't hear you laughing, but I can see. Okay, so now we're talking about follow-up. Follow-up is king. This is again, I've said this a few times, but if you can get 1 or 2 things out of this, this will transform your business. I'm going to share with you an amazing fact, and it's an amazing opportunity for your business. So I'm going to read this out. So this is based on lots and lots and lots and lots of surveys and studies. 48% of businesses in this world never follow up. So they'll give a quote, or they'll get an inbound call, they'll get a lead, they'll get an inquiry, 48% never follow up. They might send out a quote, they might send out a brochure. So that's nearly half, right? 25% of businesses make a second contact and then they stop, they give up. 12% make 3 contacts. 3 might be 3 quote follow-up calls, emails, whatever it might be, and then they stop. Here's the cool thing. 90% of sales are made on the 5th contact or more. True fact. True fact. And you can think about this in your own life. This is on average. So you think about this in your own life. When you've dealt with especially a bigger purchase, typically it'll be 5th or it might even be the 20th contact before, whether it's an email follow-up, a phone call follow-up, whatever it might be, before you make the purchase. So that means that 10% of the world's businesses are getting 90% of the sales. Now, I'm happy to say that at Premier Group, we're in that 10% by a long shot. And we're proud to be there and thankful to be there and thankful that we've come across these sales techniques and these things because it transforms your business. So today, if you change or you put in place a quote follow-up system or a follow-up system, you can get into the 10% of the world's businesses that are making 90% of the sales. Here's another cool fact. I didn't write this one down, but only 4% of businesses get to $1 million of turnover, and only 0.4% of businesses get to $10 million of turnover. We smashed that goal years ago, and you can do it as well. We smashed that goal and those because of the principles we're sharing with you today. So you can do it. Anyone can do it. Any business can do this. But you have to get into this 10%. And it's by picking up the phone, by creating a system where nothing slips through the cracks. You've got to get brave. You've got to take a courage pill. You've got to change if you want to be a success and you want your business to grow and flourish and help the economy and provide jobs and have a great life. You have to do these things. So this is how simple it is. Some people say, oh, that's a shocking fact. It's not a shocking fact. It's an awesome fact. Because it can be your point of difference. You can have the same product as your competitors. You can have a worse product and service than your competitors and still beat them hands down, beat them hollow, chase them all around. They'll be chasing you around the block because you're doing 5 follow-ups and more. So at Premier Group, we say we follow up until you're 6 feet under. That's our principle. So you stay in our database until you're dead. It sounds pretty gruesome, right? But hey, no one gets out of life alive. We all know that. So there you go. Bonus tip. The next one is, we say at Premier Group, it's a bit of a joke. If you. Okay, it means follow up, follow up, follow up. We're obsessed about follow up. And I want to inspire you and encourage you and motivate you to become obsessed about follow up in your business and create a culture of people that are obsessed about follow up. So follow up is a lead measure. Like I said, you can control follow up, because you can control lead measures. So you can decide from now on, instead of doing 1 quote follow-up a day, I'm going to do 10. I'm going to do 20. Or I'm going to create a team of people that are doing 50 follow-ups a day or 100 follow-ups a day, whatever size your business is. So it's a numbers game. I'm going to refer back to the funnel. This is where follow-up is so critical. Follow-up is needed to pull them through the funnel. Follow-up is needed to make sure the person that does go right through the funnel and buys, and he repeats or she repeats, they keep buying. That's from follow-up. It's so, so critical. This is how you fill your funnel. So marketing campaigns, we can help you with that in a separate session, but how to get more leads in the door. But what are you doing with those leads once they're in? They should be caught in your web. It's like a spider web. They will never get out. And you just keep on following up. So it's really, really, really key. And then you can predict your conversion. That's what I was saying earlier. You can start to predict what your sales are going to be this month, because you go, right, okay, well, we know from 50 phone calls, we get 5 meetings and we get 2 sales. That's on average. Work it out. Start to work out your numbers. It's not hard. It's really, 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 really key. Here's another tip around follow-up. Always leave a voicemail. I don't care what anybody says about voicemail. It's old-fashioned, no one listens to them, whatever. Okay, we are the only people in our business, in our industry, that leaves a voicemail on a builder's phone. So we're following up for brick delivery or brick something. We always leave a voicemail. Guess what? None of our competitors do. They ring and then they ring again and then they ring again. There's no voicemail. Okay, you might say, well, my client never clears his voicemails or her voicemails. You know what? They actually do. Might be once a week, once a month. Guess whose brand they're hearing when they pick up and finally clear that voicemail? Hi, it's Bernard from Premier Group here, just following up on blah, blah, blah. Just want to let you know. 5, delete. Hey, it's Bernard from... You know, you get the message. They might pick up 10 messages you've left. So your brand is burning into their brain. You're occupying that real estate in their brain, that bank. There's real estate there that you want to occupy. Who's the first brand they think of? That clown Bernard down at Premier Group is obsessed about following me up. Okay, I'm going to give him a go. I'm sick of hearing from him. I'm going to give him an order and see what his product's really like. Honestly, this is the stuff that happens here. So think about this. Always leave a voicemail and make it quick and add some value and leave your number at the start. So, hey, it's Bernard from Premier Group, 021-228-5336. Just following up on quote, blah, 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 for number 12 Davidson Lane. Are you ready to roll? We're really keen to see the bricks on this house. And we know it's the first time you've done business with us, but we really want to show you why so many builders love this product. 021-228-5336. Give us a call. Love to hear from you. Cheers, Bernard. Keep it quick. Number at the start, number at the end. You're improving the life of the customer because they don't have to listen to the whole damn voicemail again to get your number. Do it at the start. Simple tip. We all do it at Premier Group. Simple. It works. So give it a go. That's enough about voicemail. Once again, sales is a process. Follow up, follow up, follow up. So every follow-up call, as we explained, should move your client further down the funnel. You don't make a follow-up call for the sake of it. You always have a goal. I want to get ABC Builder, and I want to take him from awareness. I want to get him into interest. I want to get him a brochure. I've got to convince him to take a brochure. By post, I want him to have a hard copy he can actually feel and open. So always have a goal for that quote follow-up call. I was going to say follow-up. That didn't make sense. So anyway, talking too fast. So every no is close to a yes. Make it fun. Plan every call. We've talked about that. So your quote bank is your gold mine. Now we see this in all the businesses that we help with our coaching, and all of our, in fact, all of our clients, our builder clients, landscaper clients, they don't follow up their quotes like we talked about at the start. So it's the most neglected asset in nearly every single business. And guess what? It loses its value by the day. So the older your quotes get, the less value they have. So that's why you get on the phone, you create a system, right? We're going to follow up. This is one of your customer service policies from today on. We follow up a quote within 24 hours. Then we find out where that's up to. And the client might say, no, we're not ready for a week or 2 weeks. Then you put in the next quote follow-up call. Create a policy for that first follow-up. But a quote bank loses value. It doesn't gain in value. So if you leave it, it's going to just keep losing value. If you work it, it's going to gain value. Because you're going to hang on to that quote. You're going to hang on to that quote. You're going to hang on to that quote. Instead of it failing or just disappearing, you're going to get it over the line at some point in 2 months, in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it might be. So think about that. It's the most neglected asset in nearly every business. And we say at Premier Group, there's an old saying, it's the quick or the dead. So I know which category I want to be in. The quick or the dead. What category do you want to be in? What category do you want your business to be in? The quick. All right. And the only way to win is this. It's really, really key. So again, on quote follow-up, another little tip here is you must probe and ask intelligent questions on these calls. So you've got to ensure you dig out all the objections. And we're going to talk about how to deal with objections in just a moment and concerns. Then you must address them thoroughly and confidently. And if you're the only person in your business now that knows all your products inside out, you need to start to train. Start an FAQ book, a frequently asked questions book. We've got one in every department at Premier Group, so that gradually the team leaders get less and less phone calls, less and less emails asking the same dumb questions every single day. Build a FAQ book for your team. Then you can put it on your website if you want to, but there's lots of, even just an internal one for your team. So FAQs, what are these objections? What are these frequently asked questions? What's the answer? Ask for the order. I said it again. Set up a simple follow-up system to ensure no opportunities are missed. So a couple that we suggest, if you haven't already got a little CRM or some kind of CRM system, try HubSpot or Pipedrive. They're very good and very visual. You might already have a system you're using, but if you're not, just start with a spreadsheet. You've got to have something to keep track of all those quotes and the last time you called that customer and the notes. HubSpot's fantastic because you can use it on your smartphone. Pipedrive is the same. I haven't used it for a long time, but I've got a lot of clients that use it and they love it. So you've got to have a system. You've got to create a quote follow-up system. You've got to get into that 10%. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to your staff. You owe it to your community. You owe it to your country. Really, really key. Now, next thing, ensure your sales team is reporting to you daily on their quote follow-up. E.g., might be the dollar value that they've followed up, might be the number of calls they've made. You must have your sales team reporting daily KPIs like we talked about earlier. So this is a really key part of this piece I'm talking about, follow-up. Follow-up is king and queen. It's everything. So make sure you create a follow-up system and make sure your sales team is reporting every single day on those things. Not weekly, not monthly, daily. Next little tip, and we do this at Premier Group all the time. Discuss as a team any jobs that you fail, any quotes that fail. What can we learn from that? And you'll just improve. You might improve your quote presentation a little bit, tweak some words, tweak your follow-up quote, your quote follow-up script, or tweak something, or tweak this, or tweak that. And every day you should be getting better. And of course, what does that do? It improves your conversion percentage. How cool is that? So every day you're building a sales machine, and that sales machine is getting better and better and better and better until you're going from 100 leads in the top and 3 sales at the bottom, which might be your current ratio. You might start getting that towards 100 in the top and 50 at the bottom, because you continuously improve your follow-up system, and you're improving and you're learning from the failures. It's key. Discuss them as a team. You might choose to discuss them in your morning meetings, which we do here, or you might choose to discuss them in your sales impact meeting, your weekly one. What can we learn? Right, let's improve it. It takes 5 minutes to improve a document, 5 minutes to improve the quote template, whatever it might be. Make it and do it daily. Daily improvements. It's the aggregation of, by the way, aggregation. If you've never studied lean operations or the lean way, it's the daily aggregation of small improvements. That's what's so powerful. It's not making an improvement once a week or once a month, or getting the team around and saying, what can we improve today? It's daily, the daily aggregation. So powerful. So that's it. And like I said earlier, follow up until they're 6 feet under. So that's my last point on follow up. Right, we're going to talk about closing. We're still going good for time. It looks like we're going to have time for Q&A, which is good. Right, become a champion closer. This is a key skill to learn. Everybody needs to become a champion closer. If you're going to be a great salesperson, you've got to know how to close the deal. So let's go. ABC, always be closing from the first interaction. I said it again, right from the start. Number 2, get your mindset right. So you need to be totally convinced that they need your product, they need your service, that you're doing them a favor, that you're improving their life in some way, that you're giving them some time back, or you're saving them some money here, or some cost here, or you're adding some value to their home, or whatever it might be. You need to be convinced that your client is going to be missing out in a big way if they don't do business with you. You need to be convinced of that. And your sales team needs to be convinced of that. Because if they're not, you're going to struggle to become a champion closer. So think about that. Number 3, get obsessed about follow-up. Again, I've said it again. Number 4, understand that the phone is your secret weapon. Absolutely key to becoming a trusted advisor and a champion closer. You are a trusted advisor, a consultant. You're not a rep. Number 6, here's another powerful one. We use this a lot, is using social proof kind of language, which is like, this is why so many top landscapers in New Zealand are now specifying the Milano 600 by 600 because of this, this, and this. We would love to give you a go with this product as well, and love to prove to you just how good this product is. So using some social proof like, hey, all the top builders are using this, or all the top landscapers are using this, and create that kind of language and scripting. Role play the call in your head. And I still do this to this day on the quote follow-up, especially if it's a new client, is role play that follow-up in your head and think about the things you're going to say. It might take you 2 or 3 minutes to do that. Really, really key. And it might be the difference between making a $5,000 sale or a $10,000 sale and missing out. Here's the 5 closing methods. Now this is pretty powerful stuff, and you're probably already doing a bunch of these in your business already, but here they go. So the number 1 is the direct, which is, hey, let's go and write the PO together. Let's go and write the purchase order. So we use that a lot when we're in stores like Mitre 10 and Bunnings. Let's go sit down and write the purchase order together. Here's the recommended list of products you need. The number 2 close is called the alternative close. So it's like, Okay, so would you like the country brick or the estate brick? Or would you like red or would you like blue? So that's the alternative close. So that's the two options you're giving them. Or a trial. So it sounds as if we have the solution for you. Can we go and get this signed up? So that's a bit of a trial close. And that will, again, these closes will bring out, depending on where your client is in the pipeline, straight away, it's going to point up where they're up to. Oops, they're not as far as we thought they were. They've got some more objections that we haven't answered. Number 4 is the assumption. So this is, so when would you like this delivered? Cool. So, okay, we're going with a estate brick. That's fantastic. When would you like it delivered? What's your ideal target date for having this on site? So that's an assumption. And then the 5th close that I like to share is, we call it the if and would. So it's like, if we could deliver our product at your price, would you be willing to give it a try? So if, would. If we could deliver, blah, 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 would you be willing to give it a try? So that's a really powerful one as well. So again, we use these closes all the time here at Premier Group. You need to practice them until they roll off your tongue and till your team knows them off by heart as well. Really important. Here's another one I like to share is offer a special first order only, or a one-off discount first order only deal. So e.g., we would love to have the opportunity to use it on your next project so you can see firsthand just how good this brick is, and why so many top builders have made the move to using just Premier Brick or entirely Premier Brick. So use that kind of language. That's a really, really powerful close. So again, it means you are giving a discount, which I'm not a fan of. We don't give discounts at Premier Group apart from for show homes or a first off deal to get a new builder on board. That's it. And then we never discount again. So it's really key to don't start building a discount culture in your business, because you'll just lose the trust of your database, as you probably all know that. Who trusts any of those retail branches out there now that give you a 90% discount after you've just brought it the day before at full price? So don't discount, but you can use it as a closing method. You have to be very clear that it's a one-off first order deal so that you can see just how good this product is. I want you to experience this for yourself. The number 10, this is powerful as well. And we do this at Premier Group. I'll give you some examples. Create an unusual or an outrageous guarantee that removes all risk from the client. Like it might be a money back guarantee or something like that. So, and you can remind them of it on every time you make a call or a quote follow-up call, every time you're trying to pull them through the funnel. So remove all their risk. So the way to do this, we did this at Premier Group, and we kind of do it every year now, but brainstorm the main pain points in your industry. There might be 4 or 5 pain points in your industry that your clients really are struggling with you and with other suppliers. It might be late deliveries. It might be slow quote turnaround. It might be damage of the product on delivery. It might be there might be a bunch of things. Figure out what those pain points are and then create an outrageous or an unusual guarantee that totally covers that and takes that risk away from the client. I'll give you an example. In our industry, when we're quoting bricks for a builder, it's generally between $5,000 to $15,000 of bricks per house lot. And we're delivering, 20 of those a day. So, and quoting 30 to 40 of these a day. So it's crazy. But we found in our industry pretty quickly that our competitors are taking 2 to 3 weeks to get a quote back. So we said, right, let's guarantee you'll get your quote back within 48 hours or you get a gift hamper. So we suffer some pain. And when we first meet a builder and we explain that to them, they're like, oh, really? That's weird. That's quite random. So it's unusual. It's an unusual guarantee. They've never heard of this stuff. Okay. So we do unusual stuff here at Premier Group, if you haven't figured that out already, but it works. So you say, so this might, and another example we have is another massive pain point in our industry is late deliveries. So we said, right, let's chat to our freight companies. Let's chat to our whole team. So we share this with the team. So we're all so totally motivated to smashing these promises, because otherwise we feel pain. You must feel pain, otherwise it's not a guarantee. So if you fluff up, you must feel pain. So otherwise it's not a proper guarantee. So the other one is delivery on the day we say, or you get the freight portion of your delivery credited back. So if we've said it's the 28th and it doesn't turn up on the 28th, it's a day late, our freight company fluffs it, we pay for it. It might be $1,000, might be $2,000, might be if it's going to the South Island, it might be $6,000 of freight credited straight back to that builder. So we suffer massive pain. So we're highly motivated to make sure that delivery either gets there a day early or on the day. So think about that in your industry, and it works. It flat out works. And this will turn your pipeline on its head, you'll start converting quotes flat out. But you've got to remind your clients about these things. So that is closing. How to become a champion closer. Simple, right? Do those things and you'll be a champion closer. Keep practicing. Simple stuff. Here's some killer sales questions. We're on the home straight, everybody. Thanks for your attention so far. Hope you're not getting tired. Please drink more coffee if you need to. And water, by the way. I drink 9.5 pH Canyon water, best water in the world. I'm a distributor. Let me know if you want to drink the best water in the world. So what we need to do apart from, here's some killer questions for you, right? These are powerful. So what do we need to do apart from price, or what else do we need to do apart from price to do business with you? You've covered off the price objection. We're going to talk about how to do that as well. But that's a killer question. We use this all the time. The next one is, we would love to do business with you. What else do we need to do to start working together? Just put it out there. Again, you might only be halfway through the funnel. This might drag you right to the bottom, drag you straight into a sale just from asking that question. This is how, by the way, these questions we used with Mitre 10 when we were first getting all their stores on board through the country. And these absolutely killed it for us. Another one is when they start talking about one of your competitors. So we say, yes, they are a good competitor. Well, yes, they are. Sorry, we say, yes, blah, blah is a good competitor, or they provide a good price, a good product. But would you like to know our points of difference? So you're not trying to say you shouldn't be using this product. You can keep their pride intact. But you're saying, would you like to know our points of difference? I'd love to explain them to you. Really powerful. It's a killer question. Another killer question, number 4, is, do you have your diary or calendar available or handy? Let's lock in this appointment. So it's a pretty open, it's kind of, you could say it's kind of a closed question, but it works. So give it a go. Number 5, is there anything else stopping us from going ahead? Again, straight up the guts. And you'll find some clients, you need to start practicing these so you can pick the right question for the right moment. It comes with practice. Just like it's like building a muscle, going to the gym or practicing a sport. You get better and better and better the more you use these techniques. Number 6, who else apart from yourself will be involved in the final decision? This was a big stumbling block for us in the early years because we would often waste a lot of time talking to the wrong person in the garden center at Mitre 10. And they didn't want to tell us, of course, because no one does. They're too proud to say, well, actually, I haven't got the authority to make the decision on whether we're going to put your displays in or your product. So you just ask that up front and it clears all that up without them looking silly. Who else apart from yourself is going to be involved in the final decision or the decision-making process? Great question. Number 7, have I covered in detail everything that is important to you? So that's a really, really key question as well. Number 8, if I could show you a way to save X or improve this, would you be interested? So that's a powerful, powerful question. Number 9, if there's one thing your current supplier could be doing better for you, what would that be? And then you can kind of build off that. So these are killer questions. They'll help you close. They'll help you move forward in the deal. They might help you move your client through the pipeline. Might even just get them thinking. You might not get the deal that day, but it might get them thinking. Here's another cool one we use a lot. So we understand you have a strong and a long-term relationship with blah, blah, blah. But we would love to just have one opportunity. Could we just please have one opportunity to supply one job? We're not asking for all your business. We just want to give it. We're just asking, can you please give it a go? Or can we at least be part of your range as an upsell option? There's no way we want to take all the business off XYZ. We know they're great people and you've got a great relationship. We just want a little bit. And of course that leads on. We've used this a lot. And of course, you give them great service and great product, and 6 months down the line, you've got all their business or 90% of their business. It's fantastic. And then there's one more, which we use a bit, is what is your biggest challenge when you're dealing with people in our industry? E.g., when you're dealing with brick suppliers, what is your biggest challenge? And how could we improve that for you? How could we make life better for you or life easier? And again, that gets a whole lot of stuff out that they might not have wanted to talk about. So really, really powerful. So I know I've run through those pretty quickly and you may not have scribbled them all down. Let me know. We can actually provide those as a list afterwards if you want us to. Now we're going to talk about handling objections. This is really key. And we're also going to talk about handling the price objection. And then the last thing on the agenda is dealing with rejection. So 2 different things. And then we're done. Q&A. Handling objections. This is powerful. Preempt objections. Really important. So bring up the objections yourself. during the meeting or during the phone call and cover them off. That way, it takes it right out of the picture before it can even come up. So it keeps your client's pride intact, or your customer's pride, keeps their pride intact, because they don't want to be, no one wants to be proven wrong, whether they say they do or don't. Even the person that says they're very humble, they don't like to be proven wrong in the main. So keep their pride intact, preempt those objections. Really, really, really important. And make a list of all your common objections. So we often get our team together again in the morning meeting and say, is there any new objections that have come up recently that you guys haven't got an answer for? And then we'll brainstorm it. Okay, here's an answer. Put that in the FAQ book. And then you can start to weave these objections into your phone call. So, you know, a lot of builders have got concerns about they say they've got concerns about using concrete brick. They may not have used it before. But what we always say is that blah, 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 blah. So you preempt it and you talk about it, you cover it, and it's gone. It's put to bed, and it doesn't need to come up again. So again, that flows on to number 2, which is remove any obstacle, objections, roadblocks, and leave a clear path for the sale, which is what this is all about, pulling them through the funnel. Use intelligent questions to probe. 2 ears, 1 mouth. So use them in that ratio. Listen, ask a question, listen. And you should be listening at least twice as much as you're talking. Really, really important. How many reps do you know that come in and just talk, talk, talk? They suck. They're so annoying, and they don't get your business. So the process to use. The process to use when you're handling objections. Number 1, you reassure. So say, yes, I understand that is an objection, but let me tell you, I can reassure you about this. So then you clarify, make sure you clarify what that concern is. Then you answer it. So that's number 3. So number 1, reassure. Number 2, clarify. So I understand, Mrs. Customer, that your concern is this. Have I understood you right? Number 3, answer the concern. So put it to bed, sort it out. Just give it a clear answer with confidence. Number 2, then just evaluate the answer and try and close the deal. That's number 4. So evaluate, answer, and close, which is number 4. So a really simple process. Again, you need to train your team on these things. If you want to become a champion salesperson, or you want a team of champion salespeople. So number 5, when all objections are removed, the sale comes as a natural result of this. We've covered this. We've talked about it. Objections, here's another cool thing. Objections are actually a positive buying signal. It's a clear indication that they're looking for an excuse or a reason to do business with you. So view every objection as a positive buying signal. I don't think I can afford that, or it's not quite the right color. Have you know, what else have you got? It's a positive buying signal. They're looking for a reason to buy. So it's really, really powerful to shift your mindset around that. So handling the price objection, there's a big one that comes up a lot. There's a few things. The client says, no, that's too expensive. So what you've got to clarify there, there's four things to clarify. One is, so that's too expensive. Do you mean compared to X, Y, Z? Or what do you mean? Too expensive? Is it compared to this? What do you mean by too expensive? And option B is, that's too expensive, which means it's more than I expected to pay. So you've got to clarify these things, because it's really important. There's more to this objection than you realize. And then the third option is, that's too expensive, e.g. I can't afford it. So I literally can't afford this product. Well, that's a client you're probably not going to sell to right now. You keep them in your pipeline and sell to them later. Or if you can find them another option, that's fantastic. So they're not comparing you to someone else, and it's not more than they expected to pay. They just literally can't afford it. They don't even have the budget for it. And then the last one is, that's too expensive. Some people are often saying, well, do you have a payment plan? So you've got to dig a little more and find out what they mean by that's too expensive. And it's your job to show them more value. That's your job as a salesperson. Know thy market, know thy value. Really, really key. Another one here I'm gonna read out is the difference between price and cost, because what you got to realize, that price is really only a part of the overall total cost picture, the TCP. So you think about the total cost of ownership. What is that for a client? For us, e.g. a driveway, they might pay $10,000 for a Premier Pavers driveway, but that's not the total cost of ownership. Over time, there's going to be, is there going to, our driveway compared to others, what's the maintenance cost? What happens if they need some replacements? What happens if they want to extend their driveway? What's the total cost of ownership? So it's really, really important to think about that. So you got to ask them, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, are you concerned about price or is it cost? Most people look at you like you're crazy. You say, well, a lot of people can beat us on price, but no one can beat us on total cost of ownership or can beat us on cost. And then you can break it down and explain it to them. So figure out how to do this how to dollarize your benefits. Again, that's what we're really talking about. Because the price is only a part of the total cost picture. So like I said, that example earlier with the driveway, it might be $1,000 more, but you get a 10-year warranty, which is $100 a year for peace of mind. So total cost of ownership is a lot less than with a concrete drive. If that cracks, there's no warranty. You're going to have to cut that piece out and replace it at a cost of maybe $1,000 or maybe $1,500, or replace your whole driveway. So it's totally different. Yeah, sure, they'll beat us on price up front, but that's only a small part of the total cost picture. So start to think about that in your business and how you can explain that to your clients. So really powerful, really, really powerful. Last heading here that we're going to talk about, dealing with rejection. This is huge. So we've talked about all this stuff already, covered off heaps of stuff. But if you struggle with rejection and you get on the phone tomorrow and you get some serious rejection on your first phone call, all the stuff we've talked about today might go down the drain because you're not convinced enough, or you're not prepared to just get up and do the next phone call. So let's talk about dealing with rejection. Is everyone still following Rob? Are we good? Cool. We've got another 10 minutes and then we can hit the Q&A. Thank you so much so far. So no means no, not right now. Doesn't mean no forever. That's really important. Every no is closer to a yes. We've covered that. Sales is just a process. So think about these things. Every time you get a rejection, it's a numbers game. It's just a process. If they say no, it's not personal. It's not no because they hate you or they don't like you or they think you're an egghead. It's not that. It's not personal. They're just saying no. No, not now. Another thing you don't know what's going on in their personal life. They could have had a tragic death in their life, in their personal life. There could have been something going on that you don't know about. So the timing might not be right. So you say, well, do you mind if I follow you up in a week from now? No, I can't, don't even want to talk about it. That's okay. No worries. We'll catch up again at some point in the future. And you put them down for a phone call in a month. Give them some time. But if they're saying, let's catch up next week, then you catch up in a week. So you got to think about these things. This is how you deal with rejection. And again, this is how you train your team to deal with rejection. Another thing is keep your funnel in front of you. This here. Keep that in front of you on your wall. And that helps you to just keep your mindset right and keep strong and keep going, because you know you're just filling the funnel and you're just pulling people down the funnel, or someone might escape out the side of the funnel. Well, your goal is to put them back in again. So sales equals survival. So you get a no, you get a rejection, you get an angry customer, whatever it might be. Don't follow me up. I'm sick of you following me up. Okay. Sales equals survival. I'm not going to give up on this guy. I'm not going to give up on this girl. I'm going to put them down for a month out and I'm going to follow them up again. Hopefully they're in a better mood. Sales is the most noble profession. So you're just trying to get ahead. It's a noble profession. So think about that. Think about the thing we spoke about right at the start. Nothing happens until somebody sells something. Our factories wouldn't be producing 200 tons of product a day if we weren't selling like maniacs at the front end. So nothing would be happening. No one would have jobs. They'd have 62 staff with nothing to do. And then they'd have to go, and then they've got all their dependents and they'd all have to look for another job. So think about that. When you get a rejection, there's a lot more hanging on it. So just get on and make the next call. Sales makes the world go round. So respond. Here's another thing. Take bigger action, 10x your action. So respond with bigger actions. That's another way to deal with rejection. So right, okay, I'm going to do 10 more calls today because of that rejection. So another point is don't get emotionally attached ever. You might have a client that you've been chasing. It might be a $100,000 deal. And I've been guilty of this, some really big deals in our business. And I've got far too attached to that deal. And then I lose it. And it might knock me off my horse for an hour. Maybe not an hour, maybe 10 minutes. Because I've learned to deal with rejection. Get back up again and get on with the next one. Get on with it. Just keep moving. Use a diary and commit to KPIs and report to someone. So if you're a business owner and there's no one above you, find someone to report to. It might be your mum, it might be your dad. I explained last time I was chatting to Rob, I explained that I take a photo of my diary on WhatsApp and I send it to my dad every day. It holds me accountable. It's just that action. It's like, I need to make sure I've ticked off my goals and I've done my time right. I've planned my day. I've got the most out of this day possible. Someone's watching. So, so important. This way you can't back out, you can't back down, you can't be a wimp. So you've got to get on with that. Always remember, here's another thing about rejection. Remember, your clients actually don't really care about you. They only care about themselves. Again, that'll help you to deal with rejection. They really only care about themselves. So keep showing more value. Improve your script. Get back on the horse and keep going. Keep your nerve. Don't chicken out. Take a concrete pill. We can say that here at Premier Group because we're surrounded by concrete and cement. Take a concrete pill. Just own it. Take extreme ownership. Keep going. Don't be a blamer. There's too many blamers in this world. Too many whiners. Don't be a whiner. And I'm sure you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call today. But just, again, with your team, train them. We can't blame the weather. We can't blame the economy. We've just got to take action. We can control our lead measures. The economy's gone to custard. But hey, why don't we double our quote follow-up calls? Our quote conversion ratio is dropping. Let's just do more calls. Let's improve our script. Just take more positive action. So take extreme ownership. The buck stops with you if you're a business owner or you're a manager or a leader. And don't blame your team. No bad teams, only bad leaders. That's what they teach you in the SEALs. I've never been a Navy SEAL, but that's one of their principles. There's only bad teams, only bad leaders. So what training do you need to do? You might have given someone 100 chances. Well, why are they still in your team? Get them out of your team. Replace them with someone with a great attitude. So the buck stops with you. Just move them down the funnel. Again, just keep moving them down the funnel. Here's another tip that I'll share. This one works. Wear your workout gear when you do your quote follow-up. Wear your workout gear. Get pumped. Get positive. Have some water. Do some press-ups. Go for a walk. Get fresh air. Just get the positive emotions going on. Get those positive, happy hormones pumping through your veins, and keep going. Keep going. It's really, really important. I've talked about this. Just take more shots at goal. And I've talked about this. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. So that is it. Q&A time. And by the way, I wanted to share this. There's a bonus book for all attendees today. It's a book we published recently called Work Less and Get More Done. So if I can get all your addresses from Rob or something, we can get this book posted out to you. It's a cool little book. Bonus for turning up today and attending our training. And also connect with me on LinkedIn. You don't need to send me a fancy invite. Love to connect with you on LinkedIn. We share lots of cool stuff on there. Rob, time for Q&A. So you can unmute yourself. I'm not sure quite how to, we can't all speak at once, but you can kick us off.
Yeah, so I think just unmute if you want to ask a question for Bernard. So let's just, there's not that many people. I mean, I think we're about 28 or something like that. So it's, yeah, shoot.
Okay, Angela.
Hi, hey, I'm Angela. I just wanted to say thank you. That was amazing. I've got cramp in my hands from writing.
Thank you.
So many good lists there.
I mean, sorry. I mean, sorry. Go on.
So I'm quite keen. Some of that stuff I didn't get. My husband ran halfway through the flipping, what was it? Really important stuff about closing business, the closing methods. So yes. Is that in the book or do you have some?
No, it's not in the book, but Rob, not sure the best way to do this, but you can email me, bernard@premier-group.co.nz. Is that okay, Rob, if they come direct, or would you prefer they go through you?
No, go ahead.
Yep, so bernard@premier-group. I'll write it up, actually. That'll be a much better way of doing it.
Thank you.
Maybe the one thing that we have agreed is Bernard is going to put together a bit of a handout. So some of the high level messages and stuff like that will be circulated to everybody, because everybody that registered, we've got a name and an email address. So, you know, we didn't get all the gory details, but in the spirit of learning, we've captured a few details on our attendees today. So cool. We're learning.
Thanks, Angela. Was there any others? Sorry about your hand, by the way. You just rub some, not antifreeze, that won't work. There was something else I was thinking. Anti-flam, that's it. Don't try antifreeze.
Now, antifreeze is a Canadian expression. You use that in the north in Canada. So.
Okay. Who else is there?
Hey, Bernard, Steve Martin here. Thanks a lot for your presentation. Really, really good. Like 101 sales things in 2 hours. but really good stuff. So appreciate it a great deal. I just wanted to ask you your thoughts about texting. You know, you were mentioning phone messaging and leaving a phone message, which I guess from the perspective of hearing your voice and kind of knowing a little bit more of you is quite good. But a lot of people have messages now on their phone saying, please don't leave a message, send me a text. And I just recently, this week in fact, have organised a business meeting. First I emailed and got no response. Then I called and got no response, but I texted and got a response fairly fast, because a lot of people, you know, text appears immediately in front of them. They can respond without any bother. Yes. And you can get a quick result. I just wonder, you know, what's your thoughts about that?
No, I totally agree. I should have put that in more context for you, but at the Premier Group, we absolutely use text because it's actually the, if you look at the stats, it's the most highest percentage of replies out of any form of communication now. You've probably seen that. I think it's like 90% higher than any other form of communication. So definitely use it. Absolutely get creative. If you can't get hold of them, if you've left 10 voicemails and you're still, you know, try text as well, try WhatsApp. Get creative and do anything you can to get through to that customer. 100% agree. And some of them say, yeah, don't leave me a message. I don't listen to them.
Yes.
So we're still a little bit on the fence with that one at Premier Group. I still say to all our team, keep leaving messages. I often say when I'm in the car, I'll say, hey, sorry, Steve. I know you don't like voicemail, but I'm driving. I can't text. I really, really want to get hold of you. Can you please call me back? And, you know, I guarantee I'm the only guy that's left a message on their voicemail for 4 weeks. So they are going to get it at some point. But I'll also try texting when I'm out of the car.
Sure. The other thing I sort of picked up on was that you mentioned about in every meeting, move the person, the client down the next step of the funnel,
Yes.
which is, yeah, absolutely. I always had a thing about agreeing a next step at the end of a meeting, and it's a step that you can control. So, you know, if they say, look, I'm going to get back to you, then you're kind of a bit stuck because then you're waiting. But if you agree, look, I'll follow you up in 10 days or something, or I'll send you a quote or whatever, then I think that's a good move. What's your thoughts on that?
Yep, perfect. So what we get, again, the way we train our people here, we say, look, you are going to get a bunch of clients that say that. They say, look, don't worry about calling me back. I'll get back to you. And we say, okay, that's awesome. Do you have a bit of a time frame? So you've got to get them to commit. And if they say, oh, yeah, maybe 2 weeks, say that's cool. Okay, is it okay if I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks? Is it okay if I give you a call? We're really persistent and we're really determined. And sometimes they'll still say no if they really just don't want to do business with you. In our Premier Group world, we will still call them probably in about 3 or 4 weeks anyway. And, you know, sometimes you'll get an angry response, but it's very rare. You know, there is some rude people out there and there's some nasty people, but they are the exception to the rule, we find.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good objection response, isn't it? You know, I'll get back to you. Well, what's your time frame?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
thanks.
so train your team around that. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all right. There was someone else, I think it was Lee or Kathy was going to speak.
Yeah.
Lee?
So Bernard, you're talking about process and the sales funnel and moving people through it, right?
Yes.
But there's a conversion rate. So that's less than 1 or less than 100, however you think about it.
Yeah.
So that means there's a decision point that someone's fallen out and you don't keep pursuing them, or is the assumption that everyone will get there eventually?
That's good. Good question. So there's a few ways of looking at this. Rule number 1 at Premier Group is they stay in the database unless they specifically say, stop emailing me, stop calling me. I'm sick of hearing from you guys. I never want to hear from you again. Then we'll put a note on their file and they'll still stay in the database, but they won't get emails and they won't get phone calls. Maybe in 2 years' time, we might reactivate them. So we review the whole database, but they become a D client. Like that, we're not interested in wasting our breath. For everyone else, if they say, nah, like it's just not the right product for me, it's not a good fit, then of course you might lose them at this stage in the funnel evaluation or commitment area somewhere there, and they go, nah, I've decided to go with the brickery and we just really don't want to do business with you guys. They'll still stay on the email list and they'll still get 1 or 2 e-blasts a week, until they unsubscribe. But if they unsubscribe, they still stay in the database. So what I'm saying is they'll still stay in a telesales campaign. So at some point they're going to get picked up again. So we have a telesales campaign. We call it the builders campaign. We have an architects campaign, and it's just a rotating campaign. And it's, you know, each one and that's why I encourage a CRM, because it does help automate a lot of this stuff rather than you having to make a million notes on a spreadsheet. And then they might pop up for a call in 6 months' time. So we just grade them A, Bs, and Cs. A's are hot, Bs are warm, Cs are cold. So the A's will get called every month, the Bs get called every 8 weeks, and the Cs will be 6 months. So work out what works for your business. You might go monthly, 3 monthly, because 90 days is the longest time you should leave a warm lead. Don't go any longer than that, so it's 12 weeks. And then you might say, okay, that's our Bs, and then our Cs are 6 months, or once a year we touch base, we give them a phone call and say, hey, how's things? Has anything changed? We'd still love to do business with you. By the way, did you know that we've now got this product, we've added this service. Can I send you our latest brochure? We would really love another opportunity to do business with you guys. Don't be scared to use that language. We use it all day long.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Does that answer your question? Cool.
Yes, thanks.
Good question, by the way. Anyone else there?
I've got one. When identifying, finding, building a sales team, what 3 attributes, strengths, or skill sets are you looking for, and how do you encourage that?
When you're trying to build a sales team, yeah, that's really challenging. You know what? They're the hardest people to recruit. So at Premier Group, we bring people through our customer service team now. So we wasted a lot of money and time over the years trying to bring in superstar salespeople. You know, you'd put them on 100 grand, 120 grand plus car, plus phone, plus blah, 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 150, some of them. But because they haven't come up through your culture, they're not humble and they don't fit your values. And I've never had one that's been successful like that. So our best salespeople have come from the factory floor, then into dispatch, then into customer service, then out into face-to-face sales. And our other best salespeople have just come into customer service. You know, they become indoctrinated with the Premier culture, 12 months, 24 months. Then you start to ease them into face-to-face sales. So it depends if you're talking about telesales, Kathy, or face-to-face. It is easier to manage a telesales team than a face-to-face team. So my advice is always start with the phone. You know, I always argue with people, you might not need a face-to-face salesperson right now. You know, you might be throwing money away or throwing good money after bad. So start with telesales, make that work. And yeah, maybe there is a dire need in your business for face-to-face. Well, make sure you as an owner is the first one getting out there face-to-face. At least commit to 1 visit a week, 1 visit a day, whatever you can manage. Because that way you're at the coalface, and that way you can train your team the way you want them to be trained. Because a lot of good salespeople have come to us with shocking habits. They haven't been indoctrinated in this stuff we've talked about, and they don't take it on. So they suck. We had one guy that was selling $10 million of a certain product. I won't say what industry it was in, but he was a good salesperson, but he had for whatever reason, but he just couldn't take on our follow-up principles and things like that. Thought he knew best, and he was gone within 6 months because he just couldn't get his numbers in our industry. So does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you.
The attributes to look for, number 1 is always attitude across anything, and someone that's got a bit of confidence, but they still have to have humility, because if they haven't got humility, they won't learn.
Love it.
It's hard. Recruitment's really hard. It's the hardest thing in any business. It's still the hardest thing in our business. And that's why we get our whole team involved in recruitment. It's a big challenge.
Right. Good. Thank you.
Bernard,
sorry, I was just going to say one more thing to Kathy. Don't go for the first or second person you've hired. You're better off doing 10 interviews or 20 interviews to get the right person. Slow it down. Too many people hire too quick. I know it will slow your growth down and might take you more time, but it's worth every minute. Sorry, Rob.
No, I was just going to say quite a few people on the call are in sort of startup type things, startup businesses. They start, you know, it might start off just as a founder or, you know, 1 or 2 people and, you know, the organization. So it's how do you build the sales foundation and how do you build the sales competency as the business builds, I guess?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. we probably didn't understand enough about sales in our early days, or we definitely didn't, and we're still learning every day today. So there's some of the stuff I shared with you today is stuff we've only been doing in the last 6 months. So, all I'd say would be just grab as much of the stuff as we've shared today and pick off the easy wins, the things you can do straight away. Draw up a funnel like this so you've got that in front of you so you understand the sales funnel. And then as you hire people, make sure you indoctrinate them from the first time you even meet them. Like you say at a XYZ company, we're obsessed about sales. Give them a little one-page document about your business and what you believe in. We've got what we call a Premier Playbook here at Premier Group, and that's grown to about 50 or 60 pages now, which is we give to every single person that comes for an interview. So for 20 people that turn up, we might only hire one, but everyone goes away and they can keep that handbook. It's got our mission, our vision, our goals. It's got all the principles we believe in. There's no secrets in there. So they know what they're turning up for. It's really powerful and it makes a big difference. I'm not sure if that helps, but if you've got that understanding, it will really help. Yeah.
Okay, maybe one quick question and then I'll do initial wrap up and you can do the last wrap up.
Awesome.
Any other short questions? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the 3 questions we started with.
Cool.
So if you go back to the beginning, which is kind of, are you happy with the sales volume or the sales in your business? And, most people will say, nah, I think there's some improvement. So you come away from today. So one of our messages is you answer that question for yourself. And then the second question is, are you prepared to change? Which was the second question I used in the intro. And then the third question, as you remember, is, are you really prepared to change? And that's where the difference is in all this. And I think the other thing is it's a journey. And the trick on these things, I think I said in my intro that, my journey in the marketing area has really been 2 years where I've really gone to work and really taken on. And I think I have a pretty good understanding in the marketing area. What you're seeing today is my journey in the sales area, which is started around June 15th. And, so that it's just a long-term thing, and as Bernard says. So anyways, thanks for attending. And these things are cool as you start to see people make shifts and make mental shifts and get on their journey. And not everybody will. But where people do it, in the work that we do, it's really rewarding for us as well. So thanks for attending.
That's awesome. And I was just going to say, that's good, Rob. And I was going to say, I promise that your business will totally succeed and it will grow if you just take a bunch of these things we talked about today. Number one being just especially the follow-up portion. I shared those percentages with you. If you take those and act on them and just keep acting on them every day, you'll find you'll turn your business on its head. You'll really, really get things cranking and moving. And we've proven it in businesses that we've worked with that have put these principles into place quickly, and they're just going for it, and they're smashing goals and doing stuff that they never thought was possible. So you might set yourself a sales target of, some of them have set themselves, like say a sales target of might be $1 million a month, and then they're hitting $1.2 million a month within 3 or 4 months just from implementing a follow-up system. Some of these are 20-year-old businesses that have never actually truly applied these simple principles. So you can do it, because if one person can do it, we can all do it.
Good work, Bernard Powell. It's cool to see somebody that's a little bit enthusiastic about it. I think the other thing I'll say, I don't think there's anybody in this call is going to get into the brick business very soon. Because
yeah, hopefully we've scared you off.
I think you've shut down about 25 people, so you're not going to create any competitions out of this today.
Yeah, well, if you're in New Zealand and you're just about to get into paving or brick, well, look out. We'll kick your butt. No, thank you so much for, that's not humble. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it. It's awesome to see those of you with your cameras on, and I can see your names that don't have your cameras on, so thank you as well, because I'm sure you're good looking people behind those black screens. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon. Good luck with your sales.
Well done, Bernard. Thanks, bud.
Thank you so much.